En primer lugar, muchísimas gracias. Egun on guztioi. Thank you very much for the kind invitation. It's a great pleasure for me to be here with you. So I know that you have been here all morning, so I will try to, in 6, I think, slides, try to analyze which is our strategy from the 4.0 point of view. So, sorry. Okay. So we have started analyzing what are our strengths from 2 points of view, from the industry point of view and from the technological centers, universities and whatever R&D facilities point of view. And then analyzing the areas of opportunity, we established 3 main priorities, which are energy, advanced manufacturing and biosciences. And to deploy all these priorities, we have established for each of them a strategy, a special strategy. So for advanced manufacturing, it is named Basque Industry 4.0, and for the energy case, it is Energy Basque. So once we have established the strategies, we have started analyzing which are the priorities. I am going to talk about advanced manufacturing. For instance, when we analyze advanced manufacturing, we have established 5 objectives in this strategy. One is, of course, to help us companies to be in the global market with the new technologies, to integrate all these new technologies, all these kits in the production, in the manufacturing processes, to analyze and to establish global value chains in all our industries. We have our value chains in very defined in our clusters, but we are trying to develop global value chains, working with other regions in Europe and trying to maintain our industries global. Then analyzing the scaling up of all the researches, all the developments that our companies are doing, and of course integrating education and training for the new jobs we need in the future. With all these things, we say, okay, we have the priority areas, we have the strategy, the objectives, but how to deploy all this? Instead of deploying the strategies from the government point of view, we have established some steering groups which are led by companies, and we have been trying to work as always in the Basque Country, public and private all together, but in this case led by the private sector. So they are the ones who are going to coordinate all the actions to establish what are the main projects that our companies are going to develop, which are the interests, how to coordinate all the actors that are in the steering groups, which are, of course, institutions, our companies, our research centers. So what all the people in the steering groups are going to work are coordinated by a special company in a manufacturing sector or in the energy sector or whatever. But we have the priority, the strategy, and then the steering group to deploy the strategy. These are some of the technological areas we are going to work, but I am not going to talk about that. And once we have all this, the steering groups, in the case of advanced manufacturing, have defined the strategic initiatives that they are going to work on. So we have some related to talent on the left side, some related to energy on the right side, and the main areas that are just in the middle. So we are going to transit from the 3.0 industry to the 4.0 industry. And for that we have 3 main strategic initiatives. One is, and I'm going to talk about that, a connected assets network, we say, which is going to be developed through a digital innovation hub. And it is very, very related to how we can educate, train our companies to analyze what we are doing and to be very visible for all our society, for the society in the Basque Country. So With this in mind, we have started working in this Basque Digital Innovation Hub. Of course, we are trying to develop the network to experiment all the advanced manufacturing, new technologies, digital technologies, all the things you are working with, and to be, how to say, the road where all our SMEs are going to go, and to try to develop new strategies. You know probably that in the Basque Country our SMEs are more small than medium, so we need something to visualize, to analyze what are the new technologies, what kind of equipment we have, what kind of technologies, production processes, what can we offer to all these new SMEs, or new what kind of new technologies we can offer to our SMEs in order to make them improve and become global. So this kind of Basque Digital Innovation Hub will be for everything too, starting from small companies and trying to grow new projects, and mainly for projects like this boost you are working with, of course. So we have this kind of way. We have an industrial company that wants to be innovative. We have a catalogue of assets, a catalogue of physical and logic assets, we say, that we can show. It can work like a showroom, which will be multi-localized in the Basque Country, in several companies, in several research centers, here in the Automotive Intelligence Center. So a lot of assets in the Basque Country that can be used as a connected network to offer new services to our companies. Not only isolated asset, but they can be connected together, they can be working together in order to offer new services to our companies. So we have established the assets, about 65 assets, which are quite special, with 300 relevant equipment and facilities coming from research agents and coming from competence centers, and then new companies will come to this asset, to this equipment and to this asset catalog. And once we have that, we are going to establish this kind of Basque Digital Innovation Hub, which will offer new processes, new services on additive manufacturing, on digital solutions, as you can see, intelligent connected centers and companies, cybersecurity, of course, big data analysis, and of course flexible and collaborative robots. These are the assets are going to be established in some networks, and they are going to work all together to offer new services to our companies. And which are the three main objectives from the Basque government point of view? And this is the end I am going to tell you. We have three main objectives. We have small companies, and we don't want a two-speed company, a double-speed economy in the Basque Country. We want everybody to be on the digitalization and to be very modernizing and trying to be very global, starting from the very small companies and going to the bigger ones. So we want one speed in our economy, and this kind of digital innovation hub can be applied to the new strategies we are establishing. Second, of course, it is very important to analyze what kind of jobs we are going to offer in the near future. So for that, we need education, we need training on schools, we need training on universities, we need training on everywhere, and of course in our companies and with our unemployed people, in order to rescue them from the unemployment and to get them to the employment, to the new employment. And of course, we need new services, we need our companies to establish new businesses, and for that we have to connect the new startups, new companies which are very active and very modern, and to be working with bigger companies that can be say slower than our startups, so they can establish new business model working all together. So with these three objectives, and with the strategy and the steering groups, we are trying to develop the Basque Industry 4.0 in the Basque Country, and I hope that this new project, Boost project, will be important for our companies and of course for the country in order to work in these fields. So thank you very much, and I hope that you will be very successful in the next 3 years. Thank you very much.